Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So let's have a look at Hyperlane or the Hyper token. It's not the Hyperliquid. This is called Hyperlane, as you can see. I have covered this token multiple times in the past as well, and in my previous video, this was like my analysis. So basically, it worked out really well if you just look here. So this was like, as I said in that video, this was probably really good like demand zone, and it did hit this. And after hitting this, we saw a really good breakout. I thought it would search as high as like 23-22 cent, and there's a possibility that it still pulls it off. I'm not sure, but again we'll talk about it in just a second. So first of all, what happened here and why the token started to go out. First of all, there was a really good setup, I believe. So it was like in the downtrend ever since like July, so there was a possibility that it breaks out, and it did. And that happened due to only one thing. That was like Coinbase finally listed Hyperlane, the Hyper token, and because of that we had this move, nothing more than that. So that was like really good. Now if you don't know about the Hyperlane is basically a permissionless interoperability protocol for cross-chain communication across different blockchain environments. Basically this is how the app looks like. Users can like move like from one to another blockchain very easily, and they do support a lot of chains, as you can see here, and that is like really good, I would say. Now the bad thing about the Hyperlane as of now would be that it doesn't have that much volume, so that's not good. So if you look here, it did have like a pretty big volume back in June as well as like back in May, but as of now it is like averaging above 5 million, so that's not good. I don't think that it is like nearly higher enough to like get hype for the Hyperlane token. That is what I think. And I think you can also see that in its market cap as well, it is at like 32 million. It's not that impressive, I would say, compared to what it was back in July at 200, around 100, and as of now it is at like 32 million. There is a possibility that it goes higher, but I think still, even if it does go higher, it will most likely peak somewhere around like 23 to 22 cent, and after that we'll most likely see a massive crash for like the Hyper token. The reason why I think we will see a massive crash for the Hyper is due to its tokenomics. So if you just go to the page of like CoinGecko, or even I think you can also check it out on CoinMarketCap as well, and if you look at the token unlocks, the Hyper will have a massive token unlocks starting from March. So basically early backers as well as core contributors like will get their first allocation in March, and they will like start to get it on a monthly basis, and that will continue till April of 2028, and that means around 109 million token goes towards early backers and 250 goes towards like core contributors, and that is going to be a lot of sell pressure for like the Hyper token in the future. And I think again we still have like a window of like 4 months as of now. So if it wants to go higher, I think it only has like 4 months, and after that we'll most likely see a massive crash for this token. And as of now, again if we just look at this token, as of now it seems like that if it makes a new high, if it breaks like 18.7 cent, there's a possibility that it goes as high as 23-22. Again, in the past the token has performed really well, so there is a possibility that in these 4 months it performs, but still it is going to be a hard call because like in the past it got listed on the Upbit as well as some other exchanges, and there was a hype for it, and as of now we only have Coinbase listing. We don't have anything else. So unless they announce some other news, there's a possibility that it goes as high as like 23 to, I would say, 22 cent. They do have something called the shipping lane as well. They have something coming up as well. So let's see how it does. They do support over 180 change. That is still a lot, but as of now, as I said, looking at its tokenomics, it is not looking that good for this token. For like, I think there is still like 3 to 4 months window. After that, we'll most likely see a massive crash like for this token again. Before we see these token unlocks, there will be a surge because these investors do need to like create some liquidity so that they can take the profit. I have seen it with multiple tokens at this point, and I think that will be the exact same case for the Hyperlane. So there is a possibility that Hyperlane continues to surge as it did like just break its downtrend, and the downtrend was like really strong, as you can see here. So there's a possibility that it goes as high as 23 to like 22 cent, and if it breaks above from this level, there's a possibility that somehow with some kind of news it can push as high as like 34 to 33. But I think this is also another like really strong resistance as well. So again, as of now, if like let's say that if some kind of news happens or something happens and it goes as high as 23, and if it breaks this, I think it will most likely go as high as 34 to like 33 cent level, and this is like going to be the massive resistance that it needs to overcome to actually hit a new highs. And I don't think that it will happen, because if you just look at like the volume, and the volume is already down like 63% from the previous day, and if you look at like it usually does go higher. On November 6th they did hit like 26 million, but again, if we don't see like gradual increase in the volume, I don't think that the hyper token will recover. But as of now, if somehow if something happens and if the volume of the like Hyperlane increases, there is a possibility that like it goes as high as 34 to like 33. But I think going higher than that will require a lot more like volume, and a lot more, I think it will require a really big news. And as of now, we did have a really good news about like Coinbase listing, but we don't have anything else. So again, unless they announce some kind of big news, I don't see it like breaking 34 to 33 cent. Again, as of now, going as high as like 34 to 33 cent is going to be a really big challenge. But again, let's see what happens. As of now, it seems like that it wants to go up, so let's see how high it can go. But as of now, I'm looking at a resistance around of like 23 to 22 cent. If it breaks that, we can go as high as 32 to 34, but it is very unlikely unless we get like some kind of really big news and it goes as high as like 44 cent in just like couple of weeks, or sorry, couple of candles. That is also possible, but I think this resistance is still going to be a really important level to watch for. Anyways, thanks for watching. I will be back with more. Thank you.